Hello everyone, you're welcome back again. We're going to solve for the value of x from this beautiful Olympiad math problem. And we're given that x raised to the power of square root of x is equal to square root of x raised to the power of x. Then we are asked to solve for the value of x that will satisfy this equation. To solve this problem, the first thing we need to recall is when we have square root of a, this is the same as a raised to the power of 1 over 2. So that in the right hand side here we can write the square root of x to power x as x to power x all raised to the power of 1 over 2. So we keep the left hand side as it is first. So in the left hand side we have x raised to the power of square root of x, which is equal to, in place of this, written in this form is going to be the same as x to power x, then all raised to the power of 1 over 2. Now the next thing we're going to do is to recall power property of exponent. When we have x raised to the power of a number and all is raised to the power of another power, we can multiply the two powers together. So we have x raised to the power of square root of x, which is equal to x. Then x multiplied by 1 over 2 is going to give us x over 2. Now what do you notice? We have x and x, the base are the same. And when we have the same base, that means the power is also the same. Now we're going to cancel out the base, then we equate the power. The first power is square root of x, which is equal to the second power, which is x over 2. Now the next thing we're going to do is to try to remove this radical by square both sides of the equation. So in an equation, if you do anything to one side, you must do to the second side. So when we square the left hand side, also we square the right hand side, so that this square is going to cancel out the square root. We are left with just x, which is equal to x divided by 2 all raised to the power of 2. That means this square, this power here is going to affect both x and 2. So x to power 2 is going to give us x squared over 2 to power 2 is going to give us 4. Now the next step is to cross multiply. So this 4 will multiply by this x. 4 multiple x is going to give us 4x. 4x, which is equal to, there's nothing here, which is the same as 1. Then we just copy x to power 2. So in this case, what are you going to do? So in this case, most students make mistake by dividing both sides by x. Because in mathematics, we don't divide both sides by unknown variable. So all we need to do is to take this x to power 2 back to the left hand side. So this is going to be 4x. And when we take this x to power 2 to the left hand side, it will change to negative x to power 2, which is equal to 0. Now the next thing we're going to do is to factorize. So what is common here? X is common. So we factor out the one that have least power, which is x to power 1. So we're going to factor out x, then we open bracket. So x is outside already, so here will remain only 4, then minus x to power 2, meaning x is in two places. 1 is outside, it will remain only 1, which is equal to 0. And when 2 times multiply itself to be 0, it's either the first one, x equal to 0, or the second one, 4 minus x equal to 0. So here is one of the solution. Now to get the second solution from here, we can say 4 now will be equal to, when we take this negative x to the right hand side, become positive x. So therefore, x2 equal to 4. So this is the two solutions that will satisfy this given Olympiad problem. Now this is the initial question. Then we solve the value of x to be 0 or x is equal to 4. Now how are we going to know that these two solutions will satisfy this equation? Now we need to substitute. At x equal to 0, so when we plug in 0 here, it's going to be 0, then raised to the power of square root of 0, which is equal to square root of, in place of x is going to be 0 to the power of 0. So square root of 0 is 0, then 0 to the power of 0 is the same as 0, which is equal to 0 to power 0 is 0 and square root of 0 is 0. So therefore, 0, x equal to 0 satisfy the equation. Now let's check if x equal to 4 also satisfy the equation. Now when we plug in 4 here, it's going to be 4 raised to the power of square root of 4, which is equal to square root of 4 to the power of 4. Now, in the left hand side, we have 4. Square root of 4 is going to give us 2, which is equal to square root of 4 to the power of 4 is the same as 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, which is going to give us 256. So 4 to power 2 is going to give us 16, which is equal to square root of 256 is going to give us 16. So therefore, the second solution also satisfies the equation. So therefore, we can say x equal to 0 and x equal to 4. Two of them satisfy the given problem.